The second important book on close combat in World War II is T-34 in Action, compiled by Artem Drabkin. The T-34 is a legendary weapon in World War II, but it was also a weapon system that's shrouded in myth, and also shrouded in many contradictions. Some German generals would call it the best tank of World War II, but on closer examination, it was actually a mixed bag. The T-34 was a tank with many innovative design features, but at the same time, it was also very crude and very cheap to maintain. And in combat, it was considered a semi-disposable asset. The T-34 was inherently wedded to Russian armored warfare doctrines and deep offensive operations. As a result of such bold combat employment, the T-34 has the status of a tank that was destroyed the most in World War II. Some estimates put it at 45,000 T-34s lost. But the huge losses of the T-34 brought the Soviet final victory in World War II. Artem Drabkin has interviewed 11 T-34 combat veterans and compiled their military experience into this book. This makes the book very valuable for students of the Eastern Front, as the Red Army tanker was a prime component of their fighting power. We get vivid accounts of tank-to-tank combat and close infantry support, and also scary encounters with German artillery and airstrikes. It is also insightful about T-34 tank tactics at the platoon, company, and battalion level. Like the Russian penal assault infantry, Russian tankers took huge losses in both the attack and defense. The experiences here reflect that. Russian training was mixed for both infantry and armor. Some Russian troops and tankers had modest training, while others had very little training at all. A lot of tankers actually had to do most of their real training at the front, and mistakes at the front could cost them their lives. A common training technique was to send new crews to T-34 factories as workers to become more familiar with the equipment. As a whole, these interviews show that the Red Army tanker training was beneath Western standards. They didn't do enough gunnery practice and live firing, and they didn't do enough combined arms maneuvers. The best trained Russian tankers were the tank commanders, who were sent to special tactical schools to learn how to lead platoons, companies, and battalions. While the T-34 was visually very impressive, with a fast engine, good armor, and a good main cannon, the problems of the T-34 was actually internal. The optics for the main cannon was pretty low quality compared to the German optics, and relatively inaccurate. There was also poor ventilation in the turret, poor vision slits, and problems with the machine guns. There was also bad escape hatches for the crews. Quality control for the T-34 in reality was also questionable, with many tanks having some sort of production defect and teething trouble. So to sum things up, the T-34 in the inside was actually much inferior to the German tanks. But the T-34's advantage was that it was super cheap compared to something expensive like the Panzer III and Panzer IV, and it could be produced very quickly. Like the Russian infantrymen, the Russian tanker not only fought the Germans, but they also fought their superiors and the whole system they were placed under. The tactics of the Red Army were very ruthless, and their superiors placed a low value on the lives of their men. That was the nature of the Red Army. It was a prison, so to speak, of soldiers, a bureaucratic hell with its own internal police state. So it was hard being a Russian tanker. Tankers not only feared being burnt alive inside of their tanks, but they also feared making mistakes, because if they made mistakes, they could be sent to penal companies and battalions as infantrymen. But overall, it was still dangerous being a Red Army tanker. It was a dangerous job, and they suffered heavy losses. Due to tactical shortcomings, it's notable that throughout the war, the German army had many high-scoring tank aces, and the most common tank that they knocked out was the T-34. Nearly every German assault gun unit, tank destroyer unit had aces of some sort. But you can see that the Russians went to war with a highly imperfect tank force, but they had the numbers, and they used the numbers to achieve final victory in World War II. Thanks so much for watching. Please help out this channel by liking, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell. And check out the playlists. Comment below on what you think about the Red Army and its tactics.